Hello, I'm Jennifer of Doing Cocoa. I hope you have your mugs of hot chocolate ready today because we are going to continue working on our world map for our Flaunal Avian Society's alternate Earth. That's a mouthful. But yeah, what's not a mouthful is hot chocolate. That doesn't quite make sense either, but we're going to run with that. So, where we left off last week... Ooh, one moment. There we go. Where we had left off last week, we were working on our continent, or on our map here, and we had made a lot of continents as well as a lot of small islands around places. We might work on adjusting some of these islands a bit more, making some of them a little bit larger, but for the most part we have a lot of island chains around and such. And I think the next thing that we're going to have is that I mentioned that we were mainly working on convergent boundaries last time. This time we're going to work on divergent boundaries and just all our other boundaries and creating coastal islands and such. So we're really going to get into our actual islands here. So we're going to, while we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and pull up our arrows and plates. We're going to go back into our 3D mode. And yeah, we're going to, and probably adjusting this continent a little bit more, because it's still just not feeling quite right. It's still feeling a bit funky, or maybe not funky enough, maybe the better way to put it. Okay, so we have here. So we mentioned that we were going to put an island or possibly or some other like land formations in here. So but I don't think that's what we're going to work on to begin with. We're going to start off working with some of those. Let's find where our biggest divergent plate boundary is. So I think around here is definitely. Gee, this is a huge divergent area right here. Because we're looking to put in some like volcanic islands in those areas. We're also going to want to make a volcanic hotspot at some point as well. The more I'm looking at these two plates, the less I'm seeing them as two distinct plates. But yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think going back to, but also right here is a huge convergence area, or divergence area. Where we have 3 different plates actually moving mostly away from each other. There's a little bit more of like a transform happening here, and here. But this particularly, because this plate's moving this way and these 2 plates are moving to the side, so this area right here is particularly, it's going to be a great candidate for a big volcanic island. And so, let's make it. Boom. Create feature. And this is a coastline. Oh, one moment. I know we're doing 4 something. Let's put this at 500 just for right now. Next. Landmass, create. Okay, what is our plate IDs up to at this moment? Okay, that's 425. Four. so this is our northern area. I think we're... .430, 431, 34, so 434, how many islands do we have? Is that an island right there, or am I just seeing things? Oh, that's not on my screen, okay. So we have one, oh, that's not one to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, yeah, so 34 is the number we're getting, which checks. So this is 435. Okay. So we got a volcanic island over there. I feel like we had some other good candidates though for where to put a volcanic islands like that. So let's see. Alright, right here. Is not a bad spot. This one's gonna be a smaller one. Create coastline. 436. Next, create. Yeah. So okay, there we are. That was better. Let's just a small thing real quick. Okay, other places of note. I think we've covered the important ones. Ooh. Actually, we have a good little convergent boundary we missed last time. Good little spot for us, a small little... Actually, little coastal island. But yeah, something would definitely form right there. It may even be part of this continent. Just a little jut off there. But we'll leave that at that. Create coastline. Next. 37. Next, create. Okay. Okay, now let's create some coastal islands and stuff, especially on these continental shelves we've created. Okay, dip-a-doop-a-doop-a-doom. We're gonna have essentially an island on this transform fault here. Oop, that's a bit large there. Coastline. Next. 438. Next. Create. Let's save things real quickly. Close. Boom. Especially since... Okay, good. We have done some things up there that we've mentioned. We can also create a few more islands up on this area since this is a continental plate. So cancel. Let's redo this. Next. 439. Next. Create. Yeah, these sort of islands are gonna really add to everything. Create feature. Next. 440. Next. Create. 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 Next. One. Next. Create. Okay. Create. Next. Up. Next. Create. Okay. Next, up, next, create. Next, oh, next, create. This is going to create some interesting things on this side of the continent. I appreciate these. Next. Okay. So clearly we're looking at here some old mountains that have just sunk down and been eroded over time to where their lowest parts are not just lowlands, they're underwater. So, yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of like what we're having here. Boom. Something's happening out there. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but Here's some sirens going off. Okay. Boom, next. 448, next, create. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, this is a cool little area here. Let's go out to Robinson real quick, just so I can get a feel for how we're looking now. Alright, this continent, now that we're starting to get islands around it, is starting to look a lot better. Still not fantastic, but much better. So, that says something. Okay. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Create. Create. $451. $452. $453. Next, create. Great feature. Next, 454. Next, create. Okay, next, 455, next, create. Let's take a look at this map. How are things looking? Okay, this continent's looking a lot better. Still not fantastic. I think you can't really help that, just the shape, the odd shape of it to begin with. But I think it looks a little bit more reasonable in context. I think, however, this is feeling just a little bit odd. Yeah, that's... no, I think that maybe it wasn't that one. It was the other one that was odd. But I think this will be better. Alright. That said, I know we still have more areas where you can create coastal islands, so we're going to continue with that. This is probably going to take up most of the rest of our episode today. Is me working on, surprise, surprise, more islands. And then, yeah, this... Okay, yeah, this leaves us with a very full-looking map. Next, create. Next, create. Okay, yeah, things are looking good here. So with all of this, as we're having these islands, okay. So, yeah, what I was saying is that, so now that we're getting these islands, our next step after this will be to export this into another program, and then start actually drawing in topographies and such. So that's going to be our next step. That's probably going to be what next episode is going to be. Since this episode, we're just going to continue mapping out these islands here. Create. Okay. Okay. Now if we were to just look around. Yeah, I think this is a decent look here. Yeah, this is going to provide us with a lot to work with. Because, yeah, I think I'm going to do one more look over, but I think we're good on our islands. I think this is where we're going to call it for today. Next week we will look at next week we'll look at why am I blanking on things right now? Yeah, next week we will look into topographies and making that. So that's gonna probably be next, or not next week's, next on Wednesday's episode. That's probably what we're gonna be doing. Other than that, I think this is what we're gonna call it. But we have a pretty decent looking map here. I'm pretty happy with this. Still not thrilled about this continent, which is a shame because this is also our starting continent. But what can you do? otherwise, yeah, this map is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you for everyone for joining me today. I will see you again on Wednesday. That would be what? The 6th of April. Look forward to then. And then until then, have a great rest of your day and enjoy. I'll see you next week with a